Guys, we're back with a special quarantine edition of Dirty Change podcast. I'm Rosie Tran, comedian extraordinaire, and I'm here with Tommy Pistol,
Hi, everyone. How are you?
my co-host that has the mostest and nothing to put the mostest in because you can't get 6 feet close to people.
Uh, my girlfriend is happy.
Oh, I'm sure. She's like, I get you all to myself. Ha 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 ha. Ha.
Uh, yeah, she even made the comment one night. She was like, "Man, if I wasn't with you right now," she's like, "So." I was like, "Wow, thank you."
Okay, so I think a lot of people, our fans and listeners, and also a lot of people who follow adult news are like, what is going on with the future of the industry? Because you can't get near. I mean, is it going to be masked scenes? Like, what? There's going to be a
Um,
lot of like more rape fetishes from behind with a doctor.
I mean, they're saying
The
the
doctor and nurse scenes are going to be a lot different than before, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, who I even being in a medical room now seems like really disgusting and cautious. Um, aren't they? They're suggesting only doggy in reverse, no kissing.
Oh, so there are guidelines that are being presented.
I those are things being said. I don't know what to take serious or whatnot. But
You can only do a scene with a dildo where you're standing 6 feet away and like pushing it in with a mop handle.
you like that? You happy?
What? I can't hear you. Take your mask off. What'd you say?
Yeah, it's I've so my situation, what I've been doing, and this is I can only talk about me, but I've been shooting obviously a lot of stuff for my OnlyFans. Um,
OnlyFans has
and
like blown up and it's like now going mainstream.
everyone who is like, I'm not going to do that, they're like, I'm doing that. I mean, people are doing it because, especially for entertainers, like if you can't go to set, if that's your income, if you don't get residuals, what do you do? And a lot of people are getting creative and kind of doing. I've seen a post of comedians doing stuff on there, and it's not only sex. I think people are kind of using it as a way to just still stay in touch and make money. Like
It's kind of like
Cameo,
turned into Patreon a little bit.
yeah, Cameo has blown up. A lot of people like going on there and the whole rent somebody to say something. I've been getting a bunch of gigs on that, which is really crazy when I people could reach out to me on Twitter, but I appreciate they're gonna pay the $25 to ask for my sex advice on there.
Awesome. And you're also probably like, where are my boots?
Where are my boots?
This
Where
is
are
the
my
perfect time, boot man.
yeah, like you could totally get me right now. I like message me, hit me up, boot guy.
If
Uh,
you guys don't know what we're talking about, that means you have to go back to the original episodes of Dirty Change podcast and listen to all of them because I don't remember when we talked about it. I think it was episode 1, but it doesn't matter. Go back and listen to all the episodes of Dirty Change and find out what the heck we're talking about. Inside joke.
I did get. I am officially. I always love the tagline that Brad Pitt said in the movie Seven. You ain't. You're a freak on a T-shirt.
There you are. I'm the cook.
Ah,
Okay, you
thank you.
look a little bit creepier in that picture though in real life. You're a sweet guy, Tommy. In that picture, you do definitely look like
It,
you're gonna do something dirty.
it looks like I'm standing across the street from a schoolyard. I
I do
agree.
want to talk about something that's a really big deal. It's a little bit serious, but it has to do with sex work and what we talk about on the podcast all the time. So, I'm a small business owner. I have my comedy and also other businesses that I do. And when I went to apply for the economic assistance, I noticed how puritanical and anti sex the government was. There was a lot of language of you cannot get any money for any type of sex work. And I think that that's something that needs to change because sex work is definitely a business and it's
Yeah.
definitely something that people do for money. So I'm not sure what is going on here.
Um, I'm still waiting to get EDD, unemployment money. I got my stimulus check, but I gotta give it to Brazzer, to XBiz and ABN. They're news guys. They've kind of been covering a lot and with the FCC and kind of trying to keep everybody up to date as good as they can. But that was yeah, that was kind of a shock when that came out because you're literally labeling, like putting a stamp on our
I felt like it was the
community.
scarlet letter, and I'm not even in that
Yeah,
industry. I was like, wow. And not only that, but they mentioned it like five times on the application. I'm like, you guys don't need to like mention it five times. Like, we get it.
yeah. It's I mean, people in the industry have been able to apply for unemployment. Some people are getting it. Like I said, I applied. I haven't got anything in the mail yet. I think they're just so backed up and it's like going to take forever. But it is the wording in it is really scary.
It's
And
shameful to sex work.
yeah, it's definitely it's degrading and it just I don't know what the fucking difference is. We all pay our taxes. We abide by the law. We do what we have to do. It's not like we're not getting by. We're not like sneaking something by that everybody else is unaware of.
Well,
Like
you're in a legal business that's legally sanctioned.
exactly. Like if something happens on set, you get workers' comp and it's there's nothing different. My job is no different from anyone else's job.
I want
It's a
to
little
I want to
easier.
tell the listeners also what we're talking about in case they're not aware. So, in part of the small business loan packages for business owners, there was language in there that I saw that refuses money to sex work.
Yeah.
And so
Um,
that's what we're talking about in case you're listening and you're like, what are they talking about?
it was a real shock, and a lot of people were freaked out. And there's ways, I mean, you could to go about it. I think people were doing it of just like calling themselves entertainers and not getting into thorough like, oh, well, I show my vagina or my tits on camera and stuff like that. Like,
But it wasn't, so it's not just performers actually. There was a business owner that makes sex dolls. There was a business owner that I saw talking on the internet that provided DVD covers. I know DVDs, people are like, what's that? Yes, there's still DVDs that are made, DVD covers, because the relation to the sex industry. So it's not
hey,
just performers. And these are people that have nothing to do, they're not performers. They're not showing their vagina or tits for money. They just print out vagina and tits on like a DVD cover or something, and they're being affected as well.
their wording pretty much was covering from the PA to like the company owner, like anybody involved in
You're
like
like, I
sex.
just get coffee.
Yeah. And it's just like it's insane. Like our industry is I think we're leading away and there has been some with like our testing and COVID-19 testing is now going to be included.
In the
Uh,
STD testing.
when we take our STD test, but the COVID-19 test, we're going to have to take every 7 days. And I think that test, so to get tested through CET, it's $165, and that covers your STD and HIV. Now it's going to be an additional, I believe, $35 to get the COVID-19 test. So it's going to be 195 about. But uh, FSC, they every month to give back to the community. I mean, to our community companies, kind of put money in a pot, and when you get tested, like they're able to give you some money back. So that is kind of it's nice because a lot of people might only get tested once for the month if they have one job, and spending almost $200 on a test. That's like that could be almost a third of your check or half or a quarter of it. So it's nice that they've been doing that. Like we get tested and we get some money back.
Is there any protocol for shoots in the future? Like, have you heard anything other than? I mean, I know we're joking around, but
I heard, I mean, I've had this conversation a few times this week actually.
well, guess
And
what, Tommy? You haven't had it on Dirty Change podcast, and the listeners were not listening. So you have to rehash it, and you have to tell the listeners.
um, here's the thing, like,
I don't care conversations you've had in the past, okay?
I'm just saying it's fresh in my mind because
Okay.
everybody's saying like, you know, we might be back next month, but I don't see that happening. And they're saying July. But here's the thing. If we don't like the houses and studios re-rent at, you know, like there is so much that has to be covered from the owner who lives there, who visits that house, who's in that studio. If they're infected, we don't know. So we could get tested all the time and be sure, but it really takes like a few people to walk through there, cough, and infect everything. They're saying the cleaners will come in. Are the cleaners tested? Like there's so much, it's not just us. Like anybody that enters that house or owns it or works in it, whether they're cleaning or not, like who's to say they're not tested or they're not wearing a mask and anything? Are they going to have supervisors there? Like there is so much that is, I'm honestly, I don't know. I'm honestly scared. Like, even though we could go back to work as much as I want to go back to work, if I get sick, like I might make it, I might not. Like, and I could get my girlfriend sick, I could get my kids sick, I could get their mom sick and everything. Like, it's really fucking scary. Like, because we could get tested, but it's not just on us. It's anybody that has interaction with where we're shooting. And then also who I might be working with, what did they do? Like, this isn't just like an STD thing. Like, if they went out to a party or a bar as things are opening, or they're like, I'm going to go to the beach, or I'm going to go to this pool thing. Like, if they're not cautious too, you know, they could be sick and not know just because they're not coughing and everything. So it's everybody.
I think this is going to change everything the way 9/11 changed travel. Like, even though we haven't had a terrorist attack in America since 2001, everyone still has to go through security now, right?
They got to take their shoes off. They have
Exactly.
to go. It happened. But nobody has a solid answer. And anything that's drawn up that we're going to try, because it hasn't really been tested yet, we don't know. Like, the protocol is that nobody should be shooting. People are shooting. People are.
Is that true? Are people shooting on the DL?
Yeah, people. That's exactly what's happening. Some companies are hiring people on the DL and they're shooting to keep content open. You know, we're basically in quarantine. So when that's happening, like amongst ourselves, we regulate because we can only depend on ourselves. We don't, the protocol is don't shoot with anyone, but people have been doing that, you know, and they might be safe and everything, but a lot of people on Twitter are definitely like, we know who's doing it. And when this is done, like, we're not going to forget.
I have a new plot line. Stepdad Tommy douses himself in hand sanitizer and shows his naughty stepdaughter what's up and how to sanitize. Stepfather. Don't forget about the step.
Yes. And it's going to be labeled stepdaddy sanitizer.
Exactly. I think the plot lines are just going to have to change, but I honestly think sex work is an essential job.
Yeah, look, man.
What did they say? People eat, poop, and fuck? Oops. I We release on YouTube. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the F word, but
I look, I like that I'm seeing like a lot more performers speak up about everything going on and like besides like just with the pandemic and stuff. I'm seeing a lot of like mainstream and adult kind of bonding on Twitter, which is stuff you don't normally see. Because I don't want to say their name, but I got a message from like a famous actor, and he's like, I really agree with everything you say. It's funny, but I can't follow you because I have kids and stuff. And I was like, no worries, dude. I have kids too. It's cool, you know. So like, it's weird like how we're bonding with stuff, but I mean, like what's going on with the adult, it's so up in the air. Like companies are reaching. I was able to do a movie with my partner, you know, and it was a puppet porno.
of course, like things are gonna get more creative, right?
Yeah, and as far as I know, when it comes out, it'll be on Pure Taboo. And
Are you having sex with a puppet?
no, but they were a part of it. So
Are you the voice?
I did majority of the voices, and she did voices also. So we're gonna experiment with a lot of stuff. But the one that we did do was basically wrapped. The premise was it's a pandemic, and every time I jerked off, another puppet appeared. You have to get pussy, and you're gonna go crazy. And I'm fucking everything in the house to like the vacuum cleaner and blah blah blah. And they're like, it's only gonna
That
get
is
worse.
hilarious.
So when that comes out, I'll let you know. It's pretty funny. But a lot of companies are reaching out to performers to do what they can at home because these directors need to make money also. So as
So
long as
cam
they're
girling and is like really big, right? Solo stuff is really big.
solo stuff is big. I like. Here's the thing: like people who work in like the food service or whatever, if their job shut down, like they don't have access unless only like unemployment. I could still work from home. Like I am not making what I
Having
was
sex
close.
with puppets.
Yeah, yeah. I can get away with that. I do, and people are like, "Oh, it's Tommy. So what?" No,
It's
but
just Tommy having sex with his puppet stepdaughter. It's fine.
yeah. So the thing is, like a lot of the sex industry, like I'm really lucky to be a part of it and in it because I'm still our industry. You can still make money.
Yeah.
So many people are unemployed that work in an office that they're not getting anything. If they worked in AutoZone and they can't go to AutoZone, like what are they going to do? Like, so our industry, I feel really lucky to be part of it, and a lot of people are getting by because fans are still paying for it. You know, thank God for perverts. Like they want to see stuff, and I don't know. Like I think this this form of like us making our own money is going to be a big deal for a while. And honestly, with the regulations and how we're going to do with going back to work, it's an I don't know. Like people, if I don't even know if I want to go back right away because I'm not. I'm scared. Like I'm scared. It's concerning if what might happen and everything. And I'm worried also. People, you know, they might do it in the beginning of paying for cleaners and blah blah blah. But like, if
They
you
might
say
get
that,
lazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you say the cleaners came at like 8 in the morning, I'm not there. I don't know that. Like, I'm taking your word for it. So a lot trust is gonna really on all ends and not just between performers, directors, producers, companies, the homeowners. Like we gotta put trust into a lot of people.
Well, I think it's going to change a lot of things because, like, as a stand up, like, I can't even go on stage without touching the mic that, like, 10 other comics have touched, right? So is someone going to go up in between jokes and, like, clean the mic? Or like sanitize the mic, or like does the host of the comedy show now have to sanitize the mic between every performer?
You got to do your own headset.
So it's not, it's like logistically everything is going to be kind of a nightmare. You know what I mean?
It's, until we have a vaccine, like it's going to be a nightmare. Like the whole protocol of open up everything and go back is like, then why'd we stay home for like almost 3 months? You're telling us to go back to work when nothing's fixed? That's crazy, like, and that's how I feel with touching everything. Like I could wear gloves, but if I go to the grocery store, I reach in and I grab my car keys and I'm just like, fuck, I didn't take my gloves off.
Every single germaphobe is like going crazy right now, I'm sure. Um,
I'm fucking freaking
there's
out.
there's so many touching industries though, like massage therapy, even there's so many things that you don't think about that people touch.
You have everything from once you leave your house, you're touching everything. And from the keypad, when you punch in your code,
And your
ATM,
phone like
everything.
9,000 times, right?
Yeah, and you just it's insane. I don't like our industry will always get by. As far as opening up, like we could say all the regulations and we'll do this and that, but until like one person comes down with it, if that happens, like I think it's going to change everything, and they're going to put a stop to it until some.
I think furry porn is going to get really big. People in their individual costumes totally covered.
I looked into those costumes; they're expensive.
They are expensive. They're
Yeah,
very expensive. Those mascot costumes.
I was thinking of making a costume out of my CVS receipts. They're fucking big, and I'll just have so much. Um, Also, like, here's the thing, like, with our companies, like, a lot of companies they'll hire you to direct, but then all of the responsibility is on the director. So imagine
And
if
you're a
you're
director
like,
as well as a performer.
yeah, yeah, but imagine if you're like, oh, all right, we're getting back and I'm directing again, and someone gets sick on your set and the law passed saying, uh, you know, you'll get workers' comp if you get sick at work. And now who's to say that you got sick on a porn set? Like that raises questions too, like if someone of honesty and did you really get sick here or did you get sick because you were out or went somewhere and someone coughed on you? Like how do you getting an STD? It's pretty much like you might have got it on set if you're not fucking anyone else. That's a possibility. But who's to say you got sick if you got COVID-19 on set? That's going to be like, how do you fucking lock that in? And then somebody who's not really wealthy, but trying to do well directing, like now all of that responsibility is on them. That's insane. Like somebody I know who's a director is like, I don't think I want to go back to it because the fucking paperwork and the handling and all that is going to be insane if something happens. Like that's terrifying. And if you don't have a lot of money, like how the fuck do you take care of that?
Yeah.
And then if they choose to sue you because they got it on your set, they say like how do you prepare for that?
So it sounds like there's going to be a lot more risk going forward for the little guys.
Well, those guys never they got their own issues. There's so many questions of how are we going to go about it, and nobody has an answer right now because we haven't figured out what's really happening, or like there's no until there's a vaccine, nothing's going to be solid. And
I think even if there is a vaccine, a lot of things are going to change. Like I said, I believe that this situation is kind of like what 9/11 did to travel. This is what
sorry,
happened.
called.
What?
My mom called. I had to hang up on her.
Your mom called? I'm like, what?
I'm
Tommy
sorry.
just hung up on his mom. Wow.
Because I'm dedicated to the podcast.
Wow. Okay, guys, that's how much he cares about sharing this porn news with you guys. He hung up on his poor mother.
Yeah.
Does your mom Skype with you?
No, she just called regular. So
Oh, okay.
I can call her. No. Um, yeah, it's just nobody knows. I'd rather perform because one, get paid, do my job, and go home. Like directing is great. You might get paid a little more, but like you're not working just that day. You're working for that week and setting thing up and paperwork and making sure everything's sent in. So adding on this responsibility, and I don't know if the companies are going to have to, if they're going to make the directors pay for the cleaning of before and after a shoot. You know, is that coming out of their pocket? Are they paying for it? Or they're like, well, if you want to work for us, you got to handle all this. So across the board, like I I don't know what's going to happen, and not a lot of, and from the people I talk to, unless they're hiring you and you shoot at home and you're shooting with your girlfriend or your wife, and like you're safe and stuff, like I don't know who's going to want to take on the responsibility of being crew and location and talent and all that and all the things that are added on now. Like,
So I think gangbangs are like going to be not as popular, right?
unless they're puppets.
Puppet
Yeah,
gangbang number 35 with Tommy Pistol.
filled up.
Felt
Um,
up.
I like I said, like people are shooting and like people are going on like shooting in Vegas, like
They're going
companies.
rogue.
Yeah, and they might be getting away with it, and they're like, "Fuck it," But I'm sure those people might be single, or who knows? Someone like they might have kids, and they're like, "Well, either I'm going to starve or something," and people are going to get desperate, and it's scary because we don't know when it's going to open. They could keep saying this month, next month, but we don't know. Nobody has a solid answer. And there's going to be a lot of regulations and rules and who's going to follow them, who's going to be honest with them. Like I hate that I don't know, but I don't feel left out because a lot of people don't know.
Well,
And
I'm sure a lot of things are going to be revealed in the next few months about the adult film industry. I just want to know, you said you've been getting a lot of requests and advice requests on Twitter, and I want to hear some of your favorite, I guess, requests for advice from Cameo.
the one thing that really stood out, because the other requests are like, "Do you think I got a big dick?"
You've mentioned that before. A lot of guys want to know if they have a big dick.
I still get them. I
And
still get 'em.
I love the impersonation of what you think the guy's voice sounds because this is over Twitter, right?
Yeah. So whether
You
he's
think I got a big dick, Tommy?
yeah, it doesn't matter what a race he is. They all sound like New
They
York.
almost sound the same, right? Doesn't matter what race, ethnicity, gender. Well, I guess the gender would be male, but they all sound like a Guido.
Exactly.
Do you think I got a big dick, Tommy?
Hey, look at it.
Look at it. What do you? So men have been paying you $20 to say, "Do I have a big dick?"
25.
25. Okay. And is the answer usually yes, no, or maybe?
I was like, I'll be honest. I'd be like, hey, That's a nice cock.
What if the guy has a small dick?
I'll say, you should shave your pubes.
Okay, so what question stood out other than that one?
Well, all right. Somebody was like, "Oh my God, my wife must have been a porn star in the past. She loves sex. She wants to do threesomes with girls and guys, and I'm worried about it." And honestly, like my advice was, you have to talk about it. You got to lay down the rules and regulations and checking in. And if you're gonna, you got to have like a safety word.
Maybe
You
she
know,
just has a high drive.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he can if he can only do so much. It's either gonna hurt his feelings and ruin him, or they're gonna find a way.
No, he's gotta be open to her being explorative and polyamorous if she's like super high and he's like can only do so much.
I mean that, and then she has to also acknowledge and respect and work out his feelings
That's
too.
true.
It's
You're so sensitive, Tommy.
I,
You're
I,
so sensitive.
well, I was just like, you guys got to talk about it. Like, it's one thing fantasy and like, but once you're involving other people, like, you really got to like have that conversation of what you're okay with and doing.
I totally
And
agree. Communication is the key.
yeah, and I think we've said before, so many marriages end because people don't talk, and especially with what's going on and being home, like tensions and a lot of things are happening, and people like being stuck together for a while. Like it gets, I'm sure it gets hard, and it's great to explore all these new things and talking and wanting to do it. But when it's happening and you're in the room, and if you're the guy in the corner and you're not working and she's getting plowed, and you're kind of like, oh man, this sounded good on paper. Like that's serious, because when it's over, you might be really hurt. Like you might, and that might jeopardize your relationship and stuff. Like I was in that situation, even though I'm this like boring god. um,
Hall of Famer, right?
Hall of Fame? No, not yet. I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
why. It's June's 15 years, and I
I'm
have.
nominating him, Avian, and other porn people. I know you don't care about comedian Rosie Tran, but I'm nominating him for the Hall of Fame.
I don't know if you're like we give him so many other awards. I don't know, but like I was in a. I told him I was in a situation, and like even though I have sex and everything for a living, like things went weird, and
Because your partner had more stamina, or because you had more stamina or desire?
I felt left out. I was also under
Oh,
the influence. I was a little tipsy. So but it felt weird. And then, you don't when you're in that situation, you want to feel included and know like you're going to be taken care of and everything. So my advice was like, you guys just got to talk about it. Like you
so
really
even
got.
porn gods get insecure about sex.
Yeah, it happened. I'm still human.
Oh.
Oh. No, but nobody, like, or if it was like a boy, girl thing, and like if you were in a situation where you were like really into the other girl, and then your like actual girlfriend was like, what the fuck? Like that would look, nobody wants to feel left out. And
Everyone wants to be included in the orgy.
yeah,
Come on my face, too. That's what everyone wants. Nobody wants to be left in the corner with the puppet.
yeah. Yeah, it's just it. I've seen a lot of I've known a lot of people in like polyamorous relationships. Did I say that right? Poly,
Yes.
yeah. All
You need more New Jersey. Polyamorous.
right. Poly. Yeah.
Polly. The bitch Polly.
No, we poly. We poly. Um, and I've seen a lot, and they were great. But like as the years went on, and people wanted to like have children or move on from that, other people were like, "No, I love this. I want to keep doing this. Why don't we do this?" And I haven't seen a lot of them work out. Not saying that they don't, but I've seen a lot end because of that. Maybe it was a thing in the beginning, and this is cool, but people grow up, people change as responsibilities or they get older. They're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm tired of finding other people. Maybe not
I'm
as
tired of finding people for a polyamorous love cult. You go look.
So it was nice to have that conversation and like to give my advice and my experience. Um,
So how do
I
you do the cameos? They send you the request, and is it a video advice or audio recording?
it's a video.
Okay.
So basically, there while you're giving your speech or whatever, you see the questionnaire like still on the screen while it's recording, and that's helpful because sometimes you forget the names and you could just read it while you're talking. But
Yes, Joe, you have a big cock. What was his name again? Oh yeah.
yeah, you gotta tell Francine, Francis. No, I appreciate it. I don't know what to expect because I've gotten stuff where it wasn't just like a birthday. It's like, hey, can you just say hello to my girlfriend, or we saw your Fortnite porno, Fortnite. Can you like tell my this list of friends? You'll see him online. So it's all over the place, but it is a new way to kind of chat with people, which has been kind of cool. And if they're paying $25 to hear me talk for like a couple minutes, thank you. I sometimes I'm like, should I keep my clothes on? I don't know.
Where are my boots? Okay. Um, we're going to wrap up. This is our special Dirty Change quarantine episode. We may be bringing future episodes to you with guests, depending on how bored we get.
I think I have been asked, are we going to do more or when are they happening? So I'm really glad that we've done this.
Awesome. And I think that we do have actually some requests in some of our YouTube comments for special people. We were requested Angela White
Hey, oh yeah,
as a
she was.
guest.
Yeah,
And we
I can
have
reach
some
out. You
we
give
have
me the
some
list and I'll see what I could do.
we have some other requests as well. So the listeners and the fans are ready for some dirty change. And we're really excited, I think, to find out what's going to happen with the industry in the next year or so. And if Tommy's going to have to keep having sex with puppets.
I will. Eh, eh, I'm right over by USC, so I get a bunch of girl puppets. It's fun. I'm just picking them up.
That's hilarious. Guys, this has been Dirty Change with comedian Rosie Tran and Tommy Pistol. Tommy, do you have anything to say to the fans before we sign off?
No, you can follow me on Twitter at Tommy Pistol. You can follow me on Instagram at official_pistol_page.
There's too
You can
many
follow.
underscores. I can never find you when I tag you and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
I'm all Tommy Pistol. Wait, no, official underscore Tommy. Wait, official underscore pistol.
Yeah, on just Google my name and a lot of stuff will come up. And on my OnlyFans, you can find me on officialonlyfans.com/Tommy Pistol.
And if you pay him $25, he'll tell you if you have a big dick or not.
I'll do it for $1.
Don't say that. that? You're lowering your price.
Oh, no. I mean, $1 with $24 added.
Guys, I'm comedian Rosie Tran. Follow me on Twitter at Funny Rosie and on Instagram at Out of the Box Rosie. This has been Dirty Change with Rosie and Tommy. Bye.
Bye.